In this video, I show you how to give a modern twist to a classic technique as I make a retro-styled cross-polarized image.
AdoramaTV presents Take and Make Great Photography with Gavin Hoey, where you'll learn how to take stunning photos and then polish them in post-production. Here's your host, Gavin Hoey.
Hello, I'm Gavin Hoey and you're watching AdoramaTV, brought to you by Adorama, the camera store that has everything for us photographers. Now today it's horrible outside, it's wet, it's miserable, perfect day for some indoor photography. And I've got a great vintage retro style shoot to do here in my studio. Well, I say it's vintage and retro, that's probably not true. What it is one of the very first techniques I ever learnt way back in the 80s. It's called cross-polarization. Now, the end result should have a lovely 80s vintage feel because we're going to add a texture to it. And if you want to use the texture yourself, you'll find a download link in the description below where you can download it for free and use it on your photographs. Okay, so what do you need? You need a piece of equipment that's rather essential to cross-polarization. That's a polarizing filter. Let's face it, this filter should be in every photographer's bag. It does a range of things. It cuts out reflections, it makes colors more punchy, blue skies bluer, it does cross-polarization. But it's also a really essential filter just for general photography. And if you want to find out more on how to use the polarizing filter, check out the Adorama Learning Center, where there's lots of articles and tips on how to get the best out of this little guy. So that's one thing you'll need. The other thing you'll need is a source of polarized light. Well, hang on a minute. Where are you going to find a polarized light source? Well, you've already got one, and you're probably looking at it right now. Yeah, if you're looking at an LCD screen, you're looking at a polarized light source. Okay, some of the more modern ones, not quite the same. So this might be a great opportunity to dig out an old LCD screen, or in my case, an old laptop. Now, to turn this into a polarized light source, you need to jump into Photoshop, make a new document, make it nice and big, and make sure it has white as its fill color. Then you're going to need to select the zoom tool. Press the tab key and that will get rid of all of the toolbars around the outside. Right click on your image, choose actual pixels. If you want to make it even bigger, press the F key or Shift F to make it fill up the screen and remove all of the clutter around the outside. So this is what you end up with, a complete white screen, and this is going to be our light source. But first of all, I need to get it the right way up because this is the wrong way around. So very, very carefully, I'm going to take my laptop, turn it around so the screen is actually on the desk, and that's what we're going to put our object on to photograph. Now I'm not going to put it straight onto the screen, I'm just going to elevate it ever so slightly. It helps to protect the screen and it also means we don't get any pixels showing in the picture as well. So I'm just going to put a sheet of glass just like that, and that's what I'm going to put something on. So what object are you going to use? Well, anything that is a clear plastic will work. And by work, I mean you'll see amazing colors coming through the clear plastic. But because this is a sort of a retro vintage feeling shoot, I've got one of these. And for the younger viewers, this is a cassette tape. So before there were CDs, before there were MP3s, before iTunes was ever invented, this is how I stored the music of my youth. And I've got to be honest, it was pretty blimmin' awful as well. So I'm not going to be too sad that this is going to get a little bit destroyed. Don't do this if it is your favorite tape, because what we're going to do could really damage it a little bit. Okay, first of all, let's pop that down on the glass and let's set up the camera to take a photograph. So my camera is a Canon 60D and the lens is a Canon 60mm macro lens, and I've got my polarizing filter on the front of the lens there. So let's just bring this in and we'll shoot from above, looking straight down onto the cassette tape. And if I just take a picture now, what's going to happen, I'm shooting in aperture priority mode, probably should say that as well. What's going to happen is I'm going to get a picture of the cassette tape and it's got some wonderful colors all over it. And those colors don't exist other than in the cross-polarized light and polarized filter. Brilliant. Now, if I rotate my filter around, I can actually make the background go pure black. At just the right point, that background suddenly disappears and drops out to pure black. And if I continue to rotate it around, I'll get a nice bright white background as well. So I can choose a black background, a grey background, or a white background, but with these amazing colours coming through the cassette tape. That's cross-polarization in action, and that is the basics of this technique, although we're going to take it a little bit further. And by taking it further, what I'm actually going to do is slightly ruin the tape. Okay, so another useful piece of equipment is a biro or a pencil, and well, you'll know why if you remember these things from years gone by. I'm just going to hook out a little bit of the tape and pull it down. Okay, so just to give this a bit more interest, we're going to have some tape below the cassette itself. Let's set this down on the glass, and then we'll arrange the tape in a suitably interesting pattern. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just see if I can get this to form a heart shape by just pinching a little bit of the tape together, like that. And then I'm just going to arrange the rest of the tape just in a sort of random order. Now, it will take a minute or two just to get this exactly how I want it. Don't rush it, this bit's really important. But once you've got the tape set correctly and your cassette's in position, you're ready to start taking some pictures. So I'm ready to start taking the pictures. The camera is in the correct position, and if you're wondering why I'm not shooting vertically from above, well, because of the way cassette tape works, it's a very thin, very upright thing, so if I photograph it from above, we wouldn't see all the curls. So we're on a bit of an angle here, so let's just take the picture and see what we get. I'm going to spin the polarizing filter round till I get a nice white background, because that's really the background I want most of all. And when I review the shot, good and bad. I don't mind the stuff around the outside because I know I can take that away in Photoshop really easily, but the background isn't really very white, and the angle of the cassette is wrong because I know this is going to end up on a grungy background, and the download link for the grungy background in the description below. So that's not quite what I'm after, so let's see if we can fix. We've got two problems there. Let's deal with the first one, the white background. To make that white background really white, I'm going to increase my exposure compensation by +1 stop, and that should give me a nice white background. Okay, what about the actual falling over tape? Well, I'm going to fix that by using a little bit of this stuff. This is blue tack or white tack. It's just really useful to have in the studio or in the home. Usually you use it to fix posters to the wall, that kind of thing. But today I'm going to use it to prop up the cassette. So I've got a little bit I've rolled out into a sort of sausage shape, and we'll just prop that underneath and press that down, being very careful not to disturb my tape if I possibly can. So hopefully when I take this picture, what I should end up with is the appearance that the cassette tape is flat, and that is exactly what I'm after. Brilliant. Okay, so that's got the white background sorted. Now I need to do this once more, but with the black background. Remember, there is no black background. It's just a matter of turning the polarizing filter until you see that background go black. Remember to adjust the exposure compensation down to -1, otherwise it'll be, well, not very black at all. And the reason I've taken two pictures is because the black background image has a little bit more colour and a little bit more interest on the cassette tape, where some of that's lost on the white background. So in Photoshop, we're going to bring those two images together and get the best from both. And guess what? We're going to do that right now. So of course these images started life as RAW files, and in RAW all I've done is I've pushed the vibrance and the saturation quite strong, and I may have put a little bit of clarity in there. Yeah, okay, I probably could put quite a bit. So this is the black one, and the black looks really good on the tape, lots of detail even in the shadows, but not really good on the background, and that is one of the problems of using the cross polarizer on the black. However, the white one, lovely clean background, but a little bit murky on some of the shadowy areas of the tape. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to combine the best of both bits. So let's grab this one by selecting it all, edit and copy, jump back to the other picture, edit and paste. Now remember, these two pictures were taken seconds apart. The tripod didn't move, the tape didn't move, everything lines up perfectly. However, I do have these areas of black and an odd line, and that's just the white boxes I was using to prop up the glass and the edge of the glass and the edge of the laptop and so on. So to fix that, all I need to do is get a paintbrush, make sure it's loaded up with the same colour as the background. In this case it's a nice pure white, and I can just paint those away. Now if your background doesn't come out pure white, if it's a slightly greyish tone, you can either fix that with a bit of levels, or you can actually fill in with the greyish tone. Just sample the colour with the eyedropper tool from fairly close to the tape cassette, and well, just paint with that. Okay, so that's nice and clean in the background, but what about these murky shadows? Well, for that we're going to need a mask. Layer, layer mask, reveal all. Now I'm still working with a paintbrush, and because I'm now on a layer mask, it's changed my foreground colour to black for me. Thank you very much, that is lovely. And I can just paint across these shadowy parts and just fill in with the slightly more detail that came with the black background. And I can go and do the other side. Let's zoom in, let's be a bit more accurate, because I need to be careful, because if I accidentally click in the middle, I'm going to get the black background, not the white background, so I need to make sure I'm doing that right, and we'll keep a close eye on that, but that looks okay. It's lost a little bit of detail up on the edge here, so let's just grab a little bit of that as well, just to fill that in. There we go. So you can combine the best bits of both images to get exactly what you want. Now, what about this bit in the middle of the right-hand reel? Well, that's where I shoved the blue tack through to prop everything up. And I'm going to fix that by making a brand new and empty layer. And then I'm going to get a clone stamp tool, make sure sample all layers is turned on. And I'm just going to sample from this part on the left-hand side and put it over on the right-hand side. And we're just going to paint that in. Now, a little bit more accuracy would have been nice, but that's close enough for now. Okay, so that works really well. That fills in the hole and gets rid of the strange blue tack that was filling it up. So that is the picture completed. You could stop here quite happy. It's got a beautiful clean white background, lots of really funky colours, and of course the main beautiful bit at the bottom, the heart-shaped tape. But we're going to go one step further. Let's go to Layer and flatten the image down, and select and all, edit and copy. Now we've made available this texture, and it really does work well with this style of image. It gives a beautiful retro or grungy feel. Now you can download it. There is the download link in the description below, and as long as you're using it for personal use, you can do what you like with it. What I'm going to do is go to edit and choose paste, and that will paste our tape onto the texture and completely cover the texture up. Not to worry, because we can blend those two images together by changing the layer blending mode. Currently on normal, but try darken, multiply, color burn. They all look slightly different. Darken's good, multiply is a bit better. I do like color burn, I have to say. That one does really appeal to me, but it is kind of personal taste. So I think I'll stick with the multiply, which is just a little bit safer. So there you go, there's my cross-polarized vintage image completed. Well, this really brings back some memories. Anyway, if you want to see more videos from me and the rest of the team here on Adorama TV, then you need to click onto the subscribe button. I'm Gavin Hoey. Thanks for watching. Oh, nearly. Am I actually gonna? Oh, I don't believe it. Yes. Perfect. And we're ready to go again. It lives to fight another day.
Do you want great-looking prints at low cost? Be sure to visit our easy-to-use online printing service. Adorama Pix has professionals who treat your images with the utmost care that you can count on. For a quick turnaround on photos, cards, or albums, use AdoramaPix.com.